Hello, and welcome back to Talking in Spirals, the podcast where we talk all things sustainability, slow living, hyperfixations, weird shit. We ramble, we go on some weird, strange
Yep.
tangents.
Yep.
Should I say that again? Should I start over?
No, that's good. I was just agreeing with you that we're kind of insane.
Hello, and welcome back to Talking in Spirals. This is episode 3 of season 3, which is nuts. We're talking all things sustainability, slow living, mindfulness, conscious consumerism, everything you care about on this podcast. We tend to spiral, we go down some weird tangents, and we're really stoked that you're here. We got the gift of gab, baby.
Today, we're talking all about conscious consumerism and brands that we actually use because there's a lot of stuff on social media that people say that they use and then don't actually use. So, we wanted to give you a good list of brands that we use, brands that we stand by, brands that we like, and how we went about deciding to purchase them.
Yeah, and some things that have stood the test of time because specifically within the like low waste lifestyle kind of world, there tends to be some products that get a cult following and sometimes we buy them and then we're like, why did we get this? And
Yes.
sometimes we buy them and 5 years later still going strong. So we're going to go over a little bit of that. So we're really excited to dive into that with you today. But before we get into it, we would like to thank today's sponsor, which is Livelihood. We are so excited to be working with Livelihood. They make 100% natural, biodegradable, and recyclable apparel. They are a sustainable fashion brand. They make basics with 100% natural, biodegradable, and recyclable materials. Maria and I both love the t-shirts that they gifted us. We are absolutely obsessed. They're super, super soft, very nice basics that you can wear with lots of different things in your closet. You can wear them to work out because they're a breathable, natural fabric. And you can also just wear them as a part of your everyday outfits.
They make clothing for men and women, and they do invest 25% of their profits in restoring native habitats and urban parks and trails, which is super awesome. We love to see that from sustainable brands.
I recently wore one of the tanks that they sent me under my favorite overalls, and it was perfect. Honestly, such a cute little white basic to have in my closet. And also, it has a little tree on it to remind you of what the brand's ethos is.
It's so cute.
Maria got some green t-shirts. So we are super, super lucky to be working with them because they're a sustainable brand that aligns with our ethics and values. And they've been kind enough to give us a discount code for you guys to use. It's 20% off. The code is Talking in Spirals. We will also have the link for the discount directly in the show notes for you.
We're also really lucky that Livelihood wants to do a giveaway with us over on our Instagram. So tomorrow, which is March 1st, we'll have a post up and you can be entered to win a $75 gift card from Livelihood that you can spend on whatever you want on their website.
Yeah, they have some cute hats. They've got cute shorts. They've got some t-shirts, some hoodies, some tanks. Go pick up something cute.
So head over to our Instagram. In the show notes will be the link to our Instagram. So check it out, and there will be a couple of photos up of us wearing our Livelihood merch.
And you can enter just by commenting, tagging friends below. All the instructions will be in the caption of our post. But a huge thanks to Livelihood for sponsoring today's episode and also for being a sustainable brand in this world. So now that we have thanked our sponsor, obviously the next step here is jumping into our hyperfixations. If you're new here, we both talk about things that we are currently hyperfixated on at the time of recording. There tends to be a lot of repetition here. We will have similar hyperfixations week by week, but I think we've got some new ones this week. So
We do.
Maria can kick it off. What's your hyperfixation?
Wait, but you always kick it off.
I know I need to shut up.
No, but like I like asking you what your hyperfixation is first.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead. I feel like an asshole. I talk so much.
No, you're
I talk
fine.
so much. I'm so loud and annoying. Okay.
So as is tradition, Brennan, what's your hyperfixation for the last couple weeks?
Well, I thought you'd never ask. I also thought I wouldn't say that again because I say that every time.
I love it. It's just tradition.
My hyperfixation at the moment is tropical fruit, and I guess that's kind of been a hyperfixation for a while.
Ooh.
I think one of the best parts of living in a tropical climate is having fresh, kind of more exotic, weird tropical fruits available where I live, and they can grow like in your own backyard. So I recently discovered some new fruits, and this got kicked off because I think it's I Heart Fruit Box. They sent me a box of tropical fruit, which is very generous. Thank you, I Heart Fruit Box. They're located in North Miami, which I actually used to live in North Miami for a long time. And I'm only like less than an hour from there now. But they sent me a box of some new tropical fruits that I hadn't tried yet. And I had a really good time going through them, trying them all, and I still have some in my fridge. So every day, I've been eating a new fruit, and it's been really fun. So Maria is also going to get sent a box from them.
I am. I'm so excited.
So Maria saw my fruit box that I posted with some rare tropical fruits in it, and she followed them, and then they offered to send her a box of rare tropical fruit. So hopefully she'll get hers soon, and then we can both hyperfixate on tropical fruit together.
I'm so excited.
I'm going to read off some of the tropical fruits that I received in my box, and I want to know if Maria has heard of them and or tried them. That's a fun game, right?
Yeah.
So they sent over a black sapote. Have you ever tried
I've
that?
never even heard of it.
Okay. So
Is it black on the inside?
yeah, they also call it a chocolate pudding fruit. And when I first moved to Miami, to the first tropical climate that I've ever like lived in, what it was, oh my God, 12 years ago? No, 11 years ago? I don't know. Horrifying. And I tried my first ever black sapote. They call it a chocolate pudding fruit. It's like a pretty tropical species of persimmon. Um, and it's disgusting looking. Like it's just black and squishy. Like it's called a chocolate pudding fruit. And when it's ripe, it basically is supposed to look, you're supposed to let it get to the point where it looks like you should throw it away.
Oh,
Like it's gross, but it's just this like chocolatey pudding flavor and texture,
that sounds so
which
good.
is pretty interesting. Yeah, it's pretty cool. So hopefully you get one when you get your box. That's definitely like the weirdest one that I think most people haven't heard of, because until I moved to Miami, I'd never heard of that. Another one is an egg fruit. Have you ever had an egg fruit?
Nope. Also never heard of it.
Egg fruit is one of my favorites, also called a canistel. That's like the real name, but people call it an egg fruit because, and don't let this freak you out, the texture of the fruit is similar to like a hard boiled egg yolk. Like it's kind of creamy and kind of crumbly.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's really interesting. And it tastes almost like juicy fruit gum a little bit.
Interesting.
It's very, very creamy, which is weird for a fruit. I'm very into it. Like very into it. The flavor
Huh.
is kind of like a cake almost. It's very good. I like it. I think that one's the texture maybe weird some people out because it's kind of like creamy and
Yeah.
crumbly, if that makes sense. But I'm very into it. There's also a lot of different kinds of bananas. Most people are just eating Cavendish bananas because, biodiversity is dead. But eating different kinds of bananas, like a Namwa banana, these little tiny tropical bananas is amazing.
Never heard of it.
Um, yeah.
We only have regular bananas at our grocery store.
Yeah, I know. The other thing that I really, really like that came in my box is a star apple.
Ooh.
Um, Star apple is also called a milk fruit, and it's like purple and white on the inside, and it's called a star apple because the seeds, if you cut it crosswise, the seeds kind of make a star shape.
Oh, that's so fun.
And yeah, it's super nice. It's kinda like it's milky almost. It's really good, and it's a weird one. I just love weird fruit. That's my hyperfixation right now, and I've been eating them, a new one almost every day, and as they ripen, and it's been fun. So I'm excited for you to get yours.
I can't wait to try it. I'm so excited. I do have to ask. So, if Miami's the first like tropical climate that you live in, because you lived in another part of Florida the rest of your life, is that not considered tropical?
Oh, not at all. Yeah. I grew up in St. Augustine, Florida, which is North Florida. We're like, like an hour from Georgia.
Oh, okay.
And it gets cold. Like, it's a
Huh.
totally different climate. Yeah. So
Interesting.
for gardening, the zone that I'm in right now is zone 10B, and that's like a tropical climate. Like you can
Gotcha.
pretty much It's like comparable to Hawaii in certain places in terms of like the hardiness
Mhm.
for gardening. And North Florida is completely different. South Florida, like I'm like an hour from the Bahamas right now.
Yeah. I guess I just thought, like, all of Florida was considered tropical.
No, not at all. It gets into the 30s where I grew up. It gets very
Oh,
cold.
okay.
I mean, like very cold, but like I grew up with winter, you know.
Yeah.
Like we didn't have snow, but like,
You had
yeah,
cold.
this is totally different. And I'm only like 3.5 hours south of my hometown now, but it's completely different climate. Yeah, like the water is very blue here. Like we're just an hour from the Bahamas on a, you
Interesting.
know.
Learn something new every day.
Yeah, so tropical climate, Miami, all of South Florida is considered like zone 10A, 10B, which is like a tropical
Mhm.
climate. North Florida is like more Georgia climate
Gotcha.
almost.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Yeah. A lot more oak trees and stuff up there. And then you come down here, you see mango trees in every single person's yard, that sort of thing. I didn't grow up with that at all. Yeah. It freezes up there, so the tropical plants die. But with climate change, it's getting less and less.
There it is.
All right, I have to bring it up. But anyways, so the tropical fruit has been really fun. The last one that I wanted to bring up that I hope you get, which is my personal favorite and I think Maria will love is a sapodilla, which they also call it zapota. I mean, there's so many different names for these because a lot of them come from Central America, but it is so good. They call it a brown sugar apple or like a brown sugar
Ooh,
fruit. It tastes like brown sugar cinnamon. Like it's unbelievable. It's the sweetest fruit I've ever had. It kind of has like almost like granulated sugary
interesting.
crystals in it, which is crazy.
That sounds so good.
It tastes like candy. It tastes like eating a brown sugar cinnamon apple thing. It's so good. So that is basically candy, and I hope that you get that in your box. So yeah, that's been my hyperfixation, just trying some different tropical fruits. There was only one in my box that I had never tried before ever,
Oh,
and it was pretty interesting. It's a pepino melon. It's like they call it like a tree melon, and it's still ripening here. So I will
report back.
get back to you on whether or not it's good, but it's like a little yellow melon and it fits in your hand and it has some purple stripes on it and it's like crunchy. So
Interesting.
I'm interested. Yeah.
That sounds so good. I can't wait to see what I get in my box.
Right. It's fun, especially when you're in the cold. Like it's kind of fun to
Mhm.
try a little taste of the tropics.
Yeah.
So, Maria, I'm dying to know what your hyperfixation is.
You all have heard several times about my pantry labels, but specifically, my hyperfixation is brownie mix, my brownie mix pantry label. I was feeling a bit sad yesterday, so I decided I'm an adult. I can take a midday break and make a pan of brownies. So I used my brownie mix, made a pan of brownies. Labels are on my website, shameless promo. And then I shared about it on my Instagram stories. And I asked, so controversial, what's the best piece of brownie that you want? The middle piece, a side piece, or a corner piece? And I was shocked by the results.
I'm shocked that you were shocked.
My favorite piece, the best piece, is the middle piece. And I had 39% of people agree with me. 16% wanted the side piece, and 45% wanted the corner. How rude.
How rude. How rude.
I truly don't understand. So we had 846 votes for the middle piece, 1,000 votes for the corner piece, and 400 votes for the side piece, and I'm just like shocked. I'm so glad that there are 800 people that agree with me that the middle piece is the best piece, and I posted a video on my story after my brownies came out of the oven of me digging a fork right in the middle. My intrusive thoughts won because I just like
Were people triggered by that?
surprisingly, no. People were more triggered because in my stories, I also posted about how egg prices made me want to get chickens. People were more triggered about that.
Well, I have some bad news for you. You're going to be upset with me.
What?
I want the edge. I prefer the edge.
I I don't understand.
Because if the brownie mix, if the batter is correct, if the recipe is on point, you will get a crispiness, like but not crispy, chewy on the edge.
Okay.
I am team edge as long as it is done properly. Does that make sense? I don't want it
Yes.
like I'm not a cakey brownie person. I'm like
Oh, I
m-
am a cakey brownie person.
cakey? Really?
Yeah, like
What, you don't like any fudginess? Like you just want it to be like a chocolate cake? Like that doesn't do it for
no,
me.
like you say like cakiness for a brownie. I think of it, I don't know, it's like fudgy, chewy, but there's also like air in it. Like it's light and airy.
I guess I just need to try it.
I guess you do.
Yeah, I do. Cause I want them like fudgy and kind of like almost like not that floury. Like I want them to be
Yeah.
a lot more like fudgy and kind of dense. That's for me, that's brownie. Cause
Yeah.
if I want chocolate cake, I'll eat chocolate cake.
But when I eat my brownies, it's not like I'm eating cake. Like it's a different kind of like
Okay, okay. We're just like incoherent, clearly, at how to describe this because I think we're saying the same thing.
I think so too, but like
Okay,
the
because
words
the
aren't
edge,
forming.
Maria, they make brownie pans where it's like that zigzag so that every single piece is an
Yeah,
edge
but I
because
don't
people
want
like the
that.
edge that much. Yeah, but I'm sorry, you're in the minority here. You are.
Technically, no. Technically, a side piece is in the minority. People want corners more than side pieces.
Yes, so they have that brownie pan so that it's all edges so that every single
I've
brownie.
seen that before.
Were
Yeah.
you triggered by that?
Yes, I want a middle piece. I would like a pan of just middles. If it was up to me, I would cut like a half inch around the entire pan and then eat only middle pieces.
Oh my god. Food waste, huh? You can just get rid of the edges? I'm calling you out right now. I'm calling you out. You're exposed.
No, I
You're
would never just get
exposed.
rid of the edges. My husband would eat them. People are also really mad that I posted about egg prices because they're like, chickens are going to cost more. And I'm like, yeah, I know chickens cost more, but it doesn't mean I don't want
Yeah,
chickens.
do you think this woman wants the easy way out ever in her life? Do you think
I
she
don't know
doesn't
what
want to
that
do a
is.
million years more of work? Like she always wants the harder, more complex option. Like
Goes into the
always.
grocery store and grocery eggs are $8 for 18. And I'm like, yep, I'm going to spend a couple $100 on chickens instead.
I have a weird tidbit of information. I think I have this is this is going to send you over the edge maybe. I don't even know why this is a thing for me. I have maybe bought eggs 10 times in my entire life. Like
Really?
maybe
Huh.
less, yeah.
I grew up eating eggs and I eat them for breakfast every morning now.
See, I grew up and okay, yeah, I grew up pescatarian and like
Yeah.
I remember my dad would make omelets and like French toast and that kind of thing with eggs like on occasion, but we were not an eggy
Yeah.
household. Like we really didn't have that many animal products in our house at all besides cheese. Like
Yeah.
my parents were hippies, so I think they were quite ahead of their time in that sense. Like I grew up my
Yeah.
parents both went vegetarian in the
Yeah.
80s and that's when you used to say vegetarian and it meant fish was included. Like we didn't even say pescatarian. Um but like, you would go into a restaurant and people we would be like, "Oh, we're vegetarians." And they'd be like, "Oh, we have shrimp." And like that was still like before all this terminology was like mainstream of like vegan and pescatarian, plant-based.
Yeah.
And we never really ate that many eggs, and then I don't now that I'm pescatarian again now, or like predominantly plant-based, but I just don't like them. And I was vegan for like 6 years. I didn't ever buy them, but like even now that I do eat some cheese again, I don't have any interest in eggs. Like
Well, that's okay. There's nothing wrong with
I
that.
just don't like them.
Yeah. My husband doesn't like eggs. He makes my eggs every single morning, but he doesn't like them.
So like when people are talking about egg prices, I'm like, I don't even know what they were. I quite literally don't remember the last time I bought eggs. I think
I used to pay $3 for an 18 pack. Now it's in between 8 and $9. Yeah. So it's almost
$3.
tripled in
Oh,
price.
see, I'm so backwards. I'm like $3 is an amazing deal.
Well,
Like
that's what it used to be when we first moved into this house and we were buying it because that was when I actually started paying attention to grocery prices. It was $3 for an 18 pack, and now it's almost 9. So it's tripled.
well, I did notice that they're out of stock a lot right now, and I've read about,
Yeah.
the bird flu and the egg shortage and everything, and
Thankfully, the egg shortage hasn't hit us here.
I was making a dog cake for my friend's dog's birthday and it called for eggs and I couldn't find them. So I changed the recipe and then I was like, "Oh, this is what everyone's talking about with the egg shortage."
Yeah.
But I ended up making it without. But anyways, I I've never bought them or anything. I'm really trying not to make a sassy comment about the price of eggs supposedly going down after January 20th, 2025. It seems like that didn't happen. That's so weird.
If it makes you feel any better, in my family group chat where I have some Republican family members, on the day after the presidency, I shared the egg prices and said, "Why hasn't this gone down?" And now every time I go to the grocery
You're
store,
so
I take a
petty.
picture of the egg prices. That's why I had that picture, and I
You
send
are
it.
so petty. Not you tearing your family apart.
Just 2 members of my family.
You are petty as hell, and I love it. Just tearing her family apart at the seams just to be petty. Hey, you get what you voted for, man.
So, that's my hyperfixation brownie mix.
How did we get on? How the fuck did we get on egg prices?
Because I was talking about posting it on my story when I posted the brownie mix. I got probably like 200 plus messages between Facebook and Instagram after I posted the egg prices being like, I want to own chickens because prices are expensive. And people are like, chickens are going to cost more. And I'm like, yeah, I know, but I still want chickens.
I also want the pets. Like, I also want to have
I want
them.
chickens and I can't have them here. So it makes me want them even more.
You don't eat chicken, right?
No, I don't really eat meat at all.
No, I know.
I say that we're, like, imperfectly plant-based because we eat regular cheese and eggs, but everything else, like, I don't drink dairy, I drink oat milk. We don't use butter, we use plant butter for the most part.
Yeah, me too.
So, except for when there was a shortage on plant butter and I couldn't find
Yeah.
it for, like, 3 months. So, like, we're imperfectly plant-based. But, like, I eat eggs every morning, so
Yeah, I'm
I
the
don't know.
exact same. I don't eat eggs, but I like if they're in a cake or something, like I'm
Yeah.
not gonna not eat the cake. I just don't like eggs, but I always get so scared to talk about like my diet and diet changes that I've made because I've gotten
Yeah.
insanely canceled online for discussing this, like insanely canceled. Like it really took me back
Yeah.
how intense it got when I shared that I was no longer strictly vegan, and it wasn't a huge transition for me. It was like out of necessity, not to get into my personal stuff, but it was. And I'm so hesitant these days to even like touch on the topic of what I do and don't eat
Yeah.
because people get really mad.
Well, I mean, I shared that story on eggs and I had some people who I went to their pages and looked and they were vegan and they were like, or you could just not eat eggs or you could just not harm animals. And I'm like,
I mean, like
thank
I
you
know,
very
yeah,
much
right?
for
Like
coming
I'm
here into this
aware that
page.
that's an option. It's tricky because I'm with them. You know what I mean? Like it's tricky because I get where they're coming from, and
Yeah.
I we you and I both still very much eat 90% plant-based.
Yeah.
So it's hard to get mad at them when we have the same goal, but like the infighting is just not it. And
Yeah.
I used to be like that when I was very vegan. I hope I wasn't ever on that level. I pray.
Yeah. Same. One of them just threw me off because I had scrolled up to like a previous conversation and they had said, like, I was complaining about somebody being mad at me for not being vegan. And they were like, "Oh, like, I'm vegan and I understand, like, and being at all plant-based is better." And then immediately they were like, "Or you could just not eat eggs and not harm animals." And I'm like, "Okay, so where's that level of understanding that you had 2 months
Right,
ago?"
because like
I don't understand.
yeah, I mean, it's such a tricky topic. It's such a tricky topic because you never want to tell other people what they can and can't eat, but at the same time, I mean, I get it cuz I don't eat meat. I have never eaten meat throughout,
Yeah.
99% of my life. I have not been eating meat.
Yeah.
And I do think people should cut back on meat for environmental reasons, animal cruelty reasons, all of the above.
Yep.
But at the same time, it's nuanced and it's tough, and you don't know people's individual circumstances. And like you want to be compassionate, but at the same time, I get where they're coming from. It's such a tricky topic. Like I've gotten to the point where I don't even touch it with a 10-foot pole
Yeah.
because you can't win. So just do the best that you can. I would say being 90% plant based, as you and I both are, is pretty great. I feel good.
Even, like, being half plant-based is so much better. Have you seen those stats
Yeah.
about, like, people just cutting back their meat intake a couple days a week and, like, not having, like, meatless days?
Oh, yeah.
That makes a huge impact.
Meatless Mondays makes a huge impact. And it's pretty awesome that people are
Mhm.
able to do that, especially Like, when it comes to the meat stuff, I have 0
Yeah, me
interest
too.
in meat, and I think it comes down to the fact that I didn't grow up with it. Like, it was never on the table when I was a kid, and I never had any emotional
Yeah.
attachment to it. Like, I hear people talking about, like, "Oh, my mom used to make bacon and eggs when I was a kid, and, like, on Sunday mornings, and so now when I smell it, it's like a childhood thing." Like, I don't have any of that, so I have 0 interest. Fish, on the other hand, oysters, stuff like that, I grew up eating that because I grew up in a little beach town in Florida, and that was like
Yeah.
what everyone ate. Like, someone's uncle would go dig oysters out of the intercoastal, and like that's what we ate. It wasn't until I moved to Miami and realized, oh, this is like a bougie thing. Like, where I grew up, this is a white trash thing. Like, you know, and so that's something I have an emotional connection to. So I try not to be, also there's cultural implications, and
Yeah.
different people grew up with different cultural foods, and it's so tricky. So I can't even express my opinions on it because it is nuanced and there's so much to unpack.
Well, and it's different for every part of the world
Totally.
too.
Yeah. So now that we've gone down that rabbit hole,
35 minutes into recording later, it
oh my
hasn't even touched
god.
the episode
Oh
topic.
my god. Oh no.
All right. Today we're talking all about conscious consumerism and brands that we actually use.
This is going to be a little switch up from our normal content because we talk a lot about
Anti-consumerism.
quitting consumerism. We yeah, we talk a lot about we talk a lot of shit about consumerism, and a lot of influencers will drop brands and link
Every
products on a constant
single
basis, and
video.
we really both push against that generally, but to say that there isn't a place to discuss the brands and products that actually work for us is silly. So I think it's actually helpful when there are influencers or content creators that I really like that actually do shout out a specific product or brand, and then I know that it's been vetted and it's a good, sustainable, ethical thing that could actually help me reduce my waste or just improve my life. So, we're going to do that in today's episode. We're going to go over some products and some brands. Some of these are like typical cult following eco brands that like all the eco girlies will know, and we're going to give like our hot takes on them. And some of them are just kind of like random brands or products that we're both like, wow, yep, this is the one. So, a bit of a hodgepodge here, but I do think it will be useful to have all the information in one place at the moment.
And a good note, if we go over brands that you've never heard of, or you're looking for a specific recommendation on stuff, I believe we both have Venable pages, right?
Yeah, but yours is like stacked and mine is horrible.
So we both have Venable pages, which is like the sustainable version of like an Amazon storefront, where we have a bunch of products that we recommend and that we love. So if you're looking for a recommendation on something, check out there, or honestly just DM us. We'd be happy to share with you what we use or brands that we specifically vetted for a personal item.
Yeah, Maria has quite a thorough Benable setup with all of her stuff. So, as usual, I'm the personality hire here. I don't really have that for you, but I do know how to talk. So let's do that. This is going to be part one of a two-parter because we have a lot to say on this topic. We've been doing this for a long time. We both get sent a ton of sustainable products, sustainable brands, PR. We've bought a lot just for being in this industry, and we have a lot to say. And as two people who talk a lot about how you should buy less and you should be essentially anti-consumerist, we also want to acknowledge that sustainable brands exist and they deserve our support. We have to buy things. We live in a capitalist society. We need products, and it's pretty cool to have a resource that lets you know the brands that are worthy of your support in our experience, and the brands that actually work, the products that are actually effective. So, in this episode, we're going to go over some personal care products predominantly and personal care brands that we really like in the sustainable space. And then we're going to move on in the next episode to some more lifestyle general products, kind of with the same theme.
Okay, so I think it's probably best to start with personal care product brands because I always recommend that people start if they're trying to make more sustainable decisions and swaps in their life. That personal care is the easiest spot to start. So this doesn't apply to you if you're currently doing Project Pan. You can just skip right ahead of this of this section because you don't need any more personal care products. Use what you have instead. But I have a list of a couple brands that I use that I really, really love. We'll start off with like something easy, toothbrush and toothpaste. I have a Surrey electric toothbrush, and I waited a long time to find one on the market that I actually loved that was sustainable. So with Surrey, the toothbrushes can be repaired by yourself completely. The heads that you attach to use for your electric toothbrush get recycled through the company. So with your order, they send you an empty shipping mailer, and then you can collect your toothbrush heads and then they'll recycle them. So that's what I use for my toothbrush. And then my toothpaste, I use Bite toothpaste tabs. And it took me a long time to find Bite toothpaste tabs because I tried several other brands and hated every single other brand. I don't know about you or what you use for toothpaste, but I could not do anything else. Everything else was too chalky.
Well, I'm with you on that. Toothpaste tabs are very, very polarizing because people will try a brand, hate it, and then say absolutely not. And I'm with them.
Mhm.
Personally, I'm not even using the tabs anymore because I haven't had a good experience. I do have a little bottle of the Bite and I also have the Huppy. I feel like we should give a disclaimer like, what are toothpaste tabs? Essentially, they're just like little tablets that you bite into. They're plastic free, they're solid toothpaste. It's like a little pill.
Yeah.
You just bite down. I know it's weird for some people. It's definitely one of those eco swaps that a lot of people are like, eh.
Yeah.
You bite down onto it and, your saliva mixes with it, turns it into like toothpaste. And you just brush with it. That's not for everyone. You can use also, I like David's toothpaste. It's in the metal tube.
Oh, I like David's too.
Yeah, I've been using that for a long time and they have some fun flavors too. Like they've got some fun, interesting flavors. I'm a fan of their stuff and it's in a 100% recyclable aluminum tube. So, I'm a big fan of their stuff. I definitely think it's a better option if you're not interested in using toothpaste tabs, but if you don't want, the big plastic tube of scope or whatever, which do what you got to do when it comes to your health. We all always say this, like if your dentist is like you need to use this toothpaste, then do whatever,
Mhm.
like we're not trying to tell you to use like baking soda to
Yeah.
brush your teeth. um
I could never.
so that's what it comes down to. But honestly, toothpaste tubs are very polarizing. I'm super stoked to hear you like the Surrey toothbrush because I haven't tried it, but my best friend uses it and she
I
is
love it.
always raving about it. Okay, so
Yeah.
it might be time for me to go ahead and bite the bullet because I just use like a regular toothbrush and it's
And you've
not,
had problems
you
with
know.
bamboo. The other thing I was going to suggest is I really used to love bamboo toothbrushes, but they don't work for everybody, as Brennan, I'm sure, has previously shared.
No, no, I have beef. Me and bamboo toothbrushes have beef. Honestly, I get very frustrated. This is very niche, so skip ahead if you don't want to hear me talk about mildew. But I live in a tropical climate, as we've discussed in every second of every episode. I'm so sorry, but it is my personality. I live in a tropical climate and it is extremely humid and things mildew here. And I don't like having like unfinished wood in my anywhere moist or anywhere generally because it will mildew no matter what. I have tried everything.
Yeah.
I've tried every bamboo toothbrush on the market. They mildew, they mold. It's disgusting. It's going in your mouth. I've tried everything. People are like, "Oh, dry it off." Yeah, come on. You really think I didn't try that? So we end up using these preserve toothbrushes. And they're not that sustainable. They're made of 100% recycled plastic. So they're still plastic, but it's like a temporary option. I cannot make the bamboo toothbrush work. I have tried a million times. It really grosses me out and it's not sanitary. They mildew no matter what. So unfinished bamboo is just not going to work for me in my climate. And the Surrey toothbrush, I've heard it's kind of an investment, but I've heard from a lot of people that it's quite good.
Side note, I got mine for free, so you should DM them.
Oh, hell yeah. Wait. Oh,
I got
done.
it for free for
Amazing.
them last year. It's amazing though.
Okay, great. I love this episode. Okay.
I think we both use Leaf Shave.
Oh my god. Oh my god. That was at the top of my list. That was exactly what I was going to say next. So I'm so stoked you
Leaf
said
Shave
that
is the
because
best.
leaf shave is everything. They're
Yep.
everything. If you're wondering, if you're an eco girly and you're listening to this, also boys can listen to this. If you are an eco minded person, wow, and you're listening to this and you have seen a million ads for the leaf shave plastic free razor, If you're in this space, you know it is the creme de la creme.
It's incredible.
You know, you've seen the ads, you've seen the girls talking about it online. It's legit. It is not a marketing ploy. I've had my leaf shave razor, which, full transparency, they gave it to me, they gifted it to me. I've had it for probably 3 years now. Obsessed. It's the best razor I've ever used.
Mhm.
I've used other safety razors before, like the old school safety razors, which were very popular in the eco world there for a bit. And the straight razors are dangerous, in my opinion.
Mhm.
As a clumsy person, I have really cut myself. I have cut myself with them, and it is not fun.
I'm afraid to, like, shave places with them.
The leaf shave razor has been my cult product
Yeah.
for like 3, 4 years now. I've had the same one. For anyone who's unaware, I have the twig, which is like the single blade one. Do you have the multi blade one?
Oh, yeah, no, I have the multi-blade one.
Okay, I don't have the multi blade one. I have the twig, and it works fine. Like, the head doesn't like,
Yeah.
move, but like I don't need it to. Like, I think it's the rose gold one. They sent it to me. I'm obsessed. It's amazing. I also have their dermaplaner.
Love their dermaplaner.
Basically, they're a zero waste razor company. Like, they're 100% plastic free. You keep this razor for your whole
Mhm.
life, and you just replace the blades, which are just razor blades. They're not like the freaking
You
Venus.
don't have to use their brand.
No, you can use, and it's so cheap to
Pennies.
use their blades. They're like, I mean, literally pennies. And then you recycle the blades after you
Mhm.
use them. And I don't know about you, but when I became an adult, I made a running list in my brain of shit that costs a lot that I never thought about that shouldn't cost a lot. And razor blades was on there.
Yep.
Every time I needed a new razor blade with my old traditional razors, I was like,
Yep.
$30? Why? And with the leaf shave and any safety razor, if you want to use a traditional old school safety razor and it works for you, that's awesome too. It's so cheap. It's like pennies to
Mhm.
get the blades. And I don't know if this means I'm not changing it enough, but I have my original pack of blade refills from years ago because, I mean, they last so long. Like, there's so many in there. I think it's a pack of like 50 blades, and I don't know how often you're supposed to change it. I probably don't change it enough, but like, I'm also not shaving every day.
I change mine, like, every 2 to 3
Oh my
shaves, which is
god.
probably a bit more than, like, what you should.
I'm definitely not doing that much.
Because I feel like it dulls after,
Yeah.
like, 4, and I always am afraid I'm gonna cut myself with it dulling, so I change them more often. They're inexpensive and they're recyclable, so, like, do I spend a bit more on blades? Yeah, probably a little bit more, but
Still not as much as you would with like the Venus old school razors.
no, not at all. I did the cost comparison my first year because the sticker price on Leaf Shave is kinda scary. It's like $85 for the Leaf
It's a
Shave,
lot.
but after the first year, you're still spending less on razors.
Oh, no question. And it's an $85 razor that you keep for your whole life. Like, and they mean your whole life.
So my Leaf Shave razor is actually my second razor because I originally bought a silver one and then they came out with their rainbow one and I'm insane. So I actually gave my silver one to my friend in Missouri and I shipped it to her and she still uses that one. And I went and bought the colored one because I'm insane and I wanted something pretty in my shower.
No, I love that, and I love giving them money,
Yeah,
genuinely. They're a
they're
great
a great
brand.
company.
They really care about sustainability. It's not a gimmick. They are
Mhm.
genuinely trying to, like, create a more sustainable product that is
Yeah.
multi-use. Like, they go out of their way to say you don't have to use our blades. You can use
Yep.
any blades. So, they're really trying to keep
Yeah.
circularity and sustainability in mind, and we love them. I use their dermaplaner, which they came out with like what, a year ago maybe, and that's awesome if you are into shaving your face. If you're into skincare, then you can shave your face with that, and it helps your skincare get more into your skin, and also just like,
Mhm.
it gets rid of like some peach fuzz, some dead skin on your face, and it's awesome. And you can use the same blades for everything. So
Mhm.
we love Leaf Shave. We ride at dawn for Leaf Shave.
Oh, yeah, absolutely a huge fan of Leaf Shave. The razor that I have too is basically a traditional women's razor with the rotating head and the 3 blades.
Yeah.
So, my style is different than Brennan's, but Leaf Shave has a couple different styles for just, like, regular shaving. So, whatever style works for you, they're going to have an all-metal replacement for you. So, definitely 100% worth the investment. I was really nervous trying to use a safety razor or even just their twig razor because I was a bit nervous about like the difference in shaving, but worth every single penny. It's amazing. And I also am a big fan of their dermaplaner.
A big fan of their dermaplaner. I've never tried anything that they made and didn't like it, so
True.
they're a great brand. I've been using the Twig, which is the single edge, and I can shave. I don't know if this is TMI, whatever. I can shave everything that one would shave with that with no problems whatsoever.
Yeah.
So I
Same with mine.
shave my. I'm just full transparency. I shave under my arms, I shave my legs, and I shave my bikini area with it. I have no problems with it. I've never had any issues, and with the traditional safety razor, like the open edge razor, which in the early zero waste days, that was like the thing, kind of like before the leaf.
Yeah.
Um, I had one of those, still have it, and I did cut myself a lot. Maybe I'm a dumbass, I don't know, but it scared me. And this, I have never cut myself with the leaf unless I was just being a dumbass. You know what I mean? Like if I was just like hacking.
Yeah, I cut myself once when I accidentally didn't put the blade in all the way and it was like loose and wiggly. That's the only time I've cut myself using the razor. So it wasn't even the
Right.
razor's fault. It was my fault.
And I mean, sometimes when you shave, even if you're using like a freaking chic razor,
Yeah.
sometimes you just cut
Yeah.
yourself. Like it
It just
sucks, but
happens.
yeah, that's just runs the risk. But it's a great design. Highly recommend.
My next brand for personal care is actually for, like, shower products. So I've been really loving Etique bars for shampoo bars and their body wash bars and their conditioner bars. I'm a huge fan of Etique. I've worked with them in the past, so full disclosure, but I still use their bars and still use their products because they're one of the shampoo bars that actually works for my hair.
Absolutely love Atique. They are from New Zealand and they have been around forever in the sustainability space, like the zero waste space. I've worked with them as well, full transparency, but this should show you how much we genuinely love the brands that we work with most of the time because I use their stuff all the time. I have been using their stuff all the time for a very,
Mhm.
very long period of time here. And so has Maria. Highly recommend. They are like really awesome for creating pretty much everything you could ever need in bar form. So they have, if you
Yes.
go on their site, it's pretty comprehensive and their stuff is pretty affordable. It lasts forever. If you're new to bars, if you're new to like bars, I know people get weirded out by like using shampoo and conditioner bars. They're like, I don't know. And you don't have to do it. There's other sustainable options. And I'll talk about that a little later in the episode as well. But Etique is a good place to start if you're somebody who has like a very specific hair type or skin type and you don't want to just use like generic bars that might not work for your hair. I mean, they have everything you could need in bar form. So, like, I'm looking at their site right now. They have a clarifying shampoo bar, a volumizing shampoo bar, a curl shampoo and conditioner, which is really awesome for those of us with like textured hair. You don't want to just be using like a generic product. These are actually
Yeah.
formulated for your hair type, but they're also in bar form, 100% plastic free, which is pretty awesome. So definitely recommend. And I don't know what your experience is with them, but like bars last a really, really long time.
Mhm.
Like you can get the minis and it'll still last you like an insanely long time.
Several washes, yeah.
Several wash it. I feel like months I mean, I don't know how often you wash your hair.
From their minis?
Yeah, it depends on how often you wash your I wash my hair once a week. So,
You wash your hair only once a week?
mhm.
I wanna be able to get my hair to that level. I wash it, like, every 2, 3 days.
Yeah, that I yeah, no, I don't I would die. It just takes forever to dry, and also
Probably with the area you live, it's
I
hard
just like
too.
at the end of the week, it's not I mean, look, I just do like a slicked
Yeah,
bun situation once it's like wash day or I wear a hat, and I mean, I'm like in and out of the ocean a lot and I'm working out a lot,
yeah.
so I just try and get it as long as I can and yeah. But they don't just have shampoo and conditioner. They have skincare,
Body wash bars, face bars, I think.
they have a deodorant bar, they have a face scrub bar, and my favorite Etique product. of all time. And this is like gonna, I don't know, this is niche, but I have been using this product for probably 4 years. I use it every single day. It is their nourishing lip balm in the tint Sugar Plum.
Oh,
It's my
yeah.
daily lip product. I have had this same tube. I'm not kidding. 3 years at minimum. The same tube forever. It is $8.50 on their website. And I have had it for 3 years.
They last forever. I also have a bunch of their lip balms.
And I get constant questions about what I put on my lips. The tubes are all cardboard. So like it is looking rough. I will be fully transparent with you. It is looking rough.
Mine too.
It is looking bad, but like I don't care because the product is fine. I don't know if you're supposed to use stuff for that long. I don't care. It's fine. It I have a backup in my bathroom that I've had forever and I don't need it. They last
Yeah.
so long and they're the best. Like the formula is amazing. The packaging is amazing. They're sustainable. I love the brand and highly recommend. So, nothing but good things to say. This is so fun. I like to talk about things we like.
Have you used their deodorant?
I have not used their deodorant, but let's talk deodorant.
So, my one issue, because I've tried the Atique deodorant, I did not like the Atique deodorant. That's the one product from their brands that I don't use. I actually use Wild deodorant, and I like that a lot better.
Okay.
I think part of the reason I didn't like Atique's is because the cardboard broke down so fast, and it was like
Mm.
almost like gross. But also, I didn't think that their formula worked as well after exercising. I just don't think it worked.
Deodorant is so polarizing and so tough. And
Yeah.
I don't know about you, but actually, one of the number one requests, one of the number one questions that I get asked is what's a natural deodorant that actually
Yeah.
works? And I'm very opinionated on this. So I actually had this on my list of things to talk about, and now it's like
Yeah.
coming up organically. So let's talk deodorant.
I use Wild and love it.
I have Wild in my bathroom. I'm doing Project Pan, as you know, so I'm using up the one that I'm
Mhm.
currently on before I try Wild, but they sent it to
Yeah.
me and they had an interest in working together. And you guys know I'm not going to work with a brand unless I really like it and I try it. So I'm going to give it a shot. I'm waiting to finish up my current deodorant. I guess I could always just like
Yes.
have two
Yeah.
open, but the deodorant that I really, really like that I use every single day for years now is Hume, Hume.
Oh, okay.
I am very opinionated on natural deodorants because I have been sent a bunch. It is one of the like first kind of gateway drugs into the eco world. People will start
Yes.
using a sustainable deodorant or like a natural deodorant without aluminum when they're kind of transitioning into more natural stuff. That's always like the first thing people get into. And there are a lot of natural deodorants on the market and
They don't all work.
a lot of them suck.
A lot of them suck.
Like, suck, like,
Yeah.
actually suck. A lot of them use
Mhm.
baking soda as their primary ingredient, and that breaks my armpits out in a
Oof.
rash, like, painful bumps, not fun, and it doesn't work, and it also really irritates my skin. So, I've tried a ton that use baking soda, and it does not do it for me. Hume is my favorite natural deodorant that I have found, and everyone's body is different. I've had some people try other deodorants and told me that it didn't work for them. This one I've recommended to a bunch of people and I've never had anyone say that it didn't work for them. This is coming from someone who works out 5 times a week, lives in a very hot climate, constantly riding my bike. Like I'm sweating. And the Hume really works for me. It doesn't come in eco packaging, it comes in plastic, which sucks. But I've had the same tube for a very long time. Actually, my boyfriend and I were at a surf contest in San Clemente in California like 2 years ago. And it's founded by Griffin Colapinto. He's a pro surfer, and they were giving them out. And I was like, let's try it. And we shared this tube of deodorant, and we both were like, okay, this really works. Like, we were sharing. I don't know if that's gross. I don't care if you think it's gross. We were like sharing it because it was so good that we were like, this
Yeah.
is the one. And we've both tried a bunch, and this is our favorite one. So since then, I've purchased it, love it. It's not expensive. But I do have the Wild as my next one to try because they sent it to me and I'm excited to use it. And I'm glad that you like it. That's very nice to hear. because they are more sustainable packaging. They're 100% plastic-free packaging.
I actually started my sustainable deodorant journey. I talk about it like it's super intense, but I started my sustainable.
No, it is. It's hard to
It
find.
is. I started by using the Dove refillable case, which it's hard to explain, but it had like a metal bottom and you attach the deodorant on top and then a metal lid to cover it. It wasn't like a traditional deodorant case where like the whole stick of deodorant on this was sticking out. So after like 5 uses, the whole deodorant chunk came off of the base because it wasn't like guarded around the outside. So I loved the Dove refillable deodorant, but the case just was not it. So I've tried several different brands since then and several different ones. I also like Native deodorant, but it can be kind of expensive.
I've tried Native, because they used to have that's another one that I think is good because it's available at Target, so people can just go buy it.
Yeah. I just think Native was a bit expensive. It's not bad and it's a good formula. It was just expensive and it comes in just plastic.
Oh, does it only come in plastic? Because they had the tubes, the cardboard tubes in my Target, and then I was buying the cardboard tubes for a long time because it did work for me.
Yeah.
And then I went to Target and they had stopped carrying the cardboard tubes. They'd only started carrying the
Yeah,
plastic.
I've never seen the cardboard tubes at my Target. It's always been the plastic cases.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that was the main reason I was buying it was because I was like, "Oh, this is accessible and it's in the grocery and it's a cardboard tube." They had some good sense, but I do believe I don't actually know. Our friend Chris does a series called Sustainable or Greenwashing, and did she say that they were greenwashing?
I think her video
I
was that
can't
it was
remember.
greenwashing, that the
Okay.
brand itself was greenwashing.
But you got to do what you got to do.
So the Wild deodorant case is set up more like a traditional case where you spin the bottom to raise it up. It is the best refillable deodorant case that I've found on the market,
Amazing.
and that's what I use. Their
Amazing.
regular skin formula does use baking soda, but their sensitive skin formula does not.
Okay.
So it might be something that you may just need to switch to a different formula. But I've been using Wild for years and I have 2 open deodorants right now because I keep one in my bedroom and one in our bathroom. And I'm using Native in one place because that's my last non-Wild deodorant, and then my Wild in the other.
Awesome.
So both I like both brands. I like both formulas.
Okay.
I just really like the Wild refillable case for deodorant.
So I'm looking at their site and the cases are like $11. It's a metal case that you keep forever and just refill with the cardboard refills. The refills, it says it starts at $6.40 each. That's very, very competitive pricing. Like that's quite good. So we love a sustainable brand that is, keeping it accessible. I also they sent me their refillable lip balm, which I thought was
Mhm.
very cool.
I have that
Been
too.
using that, really like it. And I see now last time I looked at this site, this wasn't on here. I see now they have refillable body wash.
Yes, they just sent me their refillable body wash too in their celestial case, which is so pretty,
Cool.
and the refillable hand wash, which is actually just the same type of bottle. So you can mix and match. And I like both their hand wash and their body wash. They're also really good too.
Okay, the celestial case is stunning.
Isn't it so pretty? And then they sent me the bee
It's
one.
so pretty. So cute. Okay,
I just got my PR package from them. I was like, please don't send me another deodorant case because I have a deodorant case already, but
love it.
I'll take anything else you want to give me.
Oh, and they make shampoo bars. They make shampoo and conditioner bars.
I think that's new, actually.
Okay, great. Well, we love Wild. I need to try the deodorant and report back as a certified sweaty lady. But I'm a big fan of their branding and their commitment to sustainability. I knew this episode was just going to be insane because we could talk forever about this. Like,
Yeah.
let's just keep it rolling.
My last like bathroom personal care type brand is actually Crave Beauty for skincare. I've
Love.
been going through and like consistently using most of the Crave Beauty products for my skincare routine. I am quite literally obsessed. I use everything from their serums to their cleanser to their oat moisturizer. And I quite literally, once I'm out of all of the skincare that I have in my closet, I'm going to be only buying Crave Beauty just because it's so good. I love it so much.
Okay, I love to hear that. We have both worked with Crave Beauty in the past, right? Haven't you?
Mhm.
So they did an initiative, this was a couple of years back, that I was absolutely obsessed with. And again, full transparency, we were paid to promote this, but like I would have promoted this for free
Me
because
too.
I thought it was such a great initiative.
Yep.
They were selling their surplus products essentially what had happened was they had a batch of facial cleanser, like a massive batch of facial cleanser that was not up to their standards for a facial cleanser. And rather than throwing it away, they reformulated it into a body wash
Mhm.
because obviously a facial cleanser needs to be a little more gentle, a little more, not as harsh. So they formulated it into a body wash, and they kind of had this little zero waste limited edition collection that they put out, which was all about waste in skincare testing and reducing that. And I just thought it was amazing. I
It
also
was so cool.
loved it. Loved
Mhm.
the body wash. They had other products as well. They had some packaging errors, and they were selling their stuff in, incorrect packaging and at a discounted rate. And it's amazing because it allows people to get a discount on a great product
Mhm.
while also reducing waste. So we really support them as a brand. Also, as like a skincare person, I can say like it is very efficacy based. It is very, very good. The products really are based in science, of course, sustainability, but they do a great job of like being effective skincare. A lot of these eco brands are more just like basic, but these have like very good ingredients.
I haven't tried a Crave Beauty product that I haven't loved. Like,
Yes.
every single thing that I've tried from them has been amazing.
They also sell refills, which is awesome, and a lot of
Mhm.
stuff in sustainable packaging, a lot of recycled packaging. We love Crave Beauty. I'm glad you brought them
A
up.
lot of
Yeah,
glass.
I'm glad you brought them up.
I love Crave Beauty. I Once I'm done with my backlog of skincare, I will absolutely be purchasing Crave Beauty and only Crave Beauty. Aside from face bars, because in the shower when I wash my face, I use a bar
Mhm.
and I use Brixie face bars, and I am obsessed with their bars
Okay,
for your face.
Brixie. Brixie is another
Yes.
bar brand that we love.
I also really like their shampoo and conditioner bars too.
Yeah, 100%. Brixie is awesome.
But they do have the best face bars that I found.
Oh, yeah. Amazing. Okay. So while we're on the topic, I guess we could just like kind of rapid fire some of the ones that get a shout out. For shampoo and conditioner bars, if I'm not using Etique, I'm a big fan of the Earthling Co. I love their bars. I've used their shampoo and conditioner bars for a while. I keep them in my travel bag. If you're not interested in using bars at all, I'm a big fan of Everest shampoo and conditioner bar. Sorry, not bars.
I have their concentrates.
Yes, that's what I was going to say. Yeah. So
Oh,
if you're
okay.
not interested in using shampoo and conditioner bars, if you find that they don't work for your skin, I am a huge, huge fan of Everest shampoo and conditioner. They come in 100% recyclable metal tubes, and they're highly, highly concentrated. So you really only need like a tiny little dab of the shampoo, and then you mix some water in with your hands, lather it, and use it on your head. It is really, really good in terms of a sustainable option that is not a bar. So it's more like traditional, but just less water in it.
They gifted me some of their concentrates, and I have yet to try it, but they're on my project pan list, so I will be getting to them soon.
I have a back stock of them as well because I'm currently using up some shampoo and conditioner, but I they gave me their travel minis in these little tins, these little metal tins, and those are my go-to. They're in my travel bag. It says 10 uses per a container that's like an inch.
Mhm.
And I'm still using them. I feel I've used them more than 10 times. They're so concentrated
Nice.
and they're great because you can travel with these little tins and they're TSA friendly. I never check a bag, fun fact.
Insane.
Solid products are amazing for travel because you're not worrying about leaking, you're not worrying
Yep.
about going over the TSA limit. Shampoo and conditioner bars, face bars, solid skincare, it's so great for traveling. That's just like a side note. And you talked about face bars that you really like.
Mhm.
I am a huge fan of Attitude's Oceanly skincare line. Have you tried that?
I have not.
Attitude is a sustainable brand. They make everything from like skincare, home products, baby, kids products, and they're all sustainable. They're a great brand across the board, in my experience. But not so long ago, they came out with this line called Oceanly, which is EWG verified. And if you guys are unfamiliar, EWG verification is like the gold standard for um, non toxic ingredients. If you get an EWG certification, you are using the cleanest possible ingredients. And obviously, this is nuanced. There's some things where we don't want to be using the cleanest possible ingredients. There's some necessity for chemical ingredients or things that would be more considered chemicals. But this brand, these products are really, really awesome. They've created an entire line of skincare products that are packaged in cardboard. And I was a little bit hesitant to try them out because I wash my face in the shower and I didn't want the cleanser to be in cardboard in my shower. But I just keep it on my windowsill, like it's like next to my shower. It's like outside of my shower. It's a solid bar of face cleanser in a cardboard stick, like a tube. It looks like a deodorant tube, kind of just like a mini. You push up the stick and you lather it onto like with your hands, just as you would with any bar. And then you wash your face with it. I love it. They sent over their entire skincare routine to me and I've been loving it. They had a serum, a moisturizer, and an oil all in solid bar form in these cardboard tubes. The packaging is 100% sustainable. It's pretty awesome and everything works really great. So, again, just like with Crave Beauty, you don't have to sacrifice the efficacy of good skincare because it's sustainably packaged. I really like their stuff. I really like their ingredients. So that's Attitude, their Oceanly line, but everything from Attitude is great. And in terms of sustainable skincare, I am also a really big fan of Coco Kind. I've been using Coco Kind forever.
Oh, I forgot about Cocoa Kind. I love Cocoa Kind.
Yeah, been using them forever. They have been around for the longest time. They really are like one of the OGs when it comes to sustainable skincare. They're great. We love them. I think a lesser known one that I'm a huge fan of is this brand called Alpyn Beauty. I think it's Alpyn. It's Alpyn. I really hope it's not Alpine. Um, if it is, I still like them. Their stuff is really great. They're sustainability minded, and that is the best lip balm I have ever used in my entire life. Is this Alpyn Beauty lip balm?
I've actually never heard of them before.
They're so great. You should definitely check them out. I was on their PR list for quite some time, and I used their products religiously. Love everything they make. That's a pricier option for like a more serious
Mhm.
skincare person, but it's pretty awesome. Their stuff is great. That is the best lip balm I've ever used in my life. And as somebody who really, really likes a lip balm and thinks a lot of them are absolute garbage, that's a really good lip balm. So highly recommend. So Maria and I were toying with the idea of doing an entire episode about periods. I think it's worth discussing. I feel like it's one of those things that people don't talk about enough. Even in today's age, as things get more open and discussed, I'm still getting constant questions about sustainable options for periods. And we could dive in all day. We could discuss this. So we're just going to touch on our favorite products and then you guys can let us know if you would like a full episode on that later this season because we both have a lot of thoughts and opinions and we both
I
want to
have
kind
so
of
many opinions.
be really open about this stuff as women who both have periods. We need to talk about them more openly, especially the sustainability and the health side of things. So, if you're interested, we can do a full episode. But for now, let's just share our favorite sustainable period products. I don't know about you, but I personally have not bought a single use period product like a tampon or pad in 7 years plus.
We bought a box of them to keep in our bathroom in case we have somebody that's visiting that needs something.
Oh, that's
And it's
nice.
just like in a little box that's on the back of our toilet. And I've refilled it from our box like once. So for 4 years, so we bought a box of them 4 years ago, but I haven't used them in at least like 8 or 9 years.
Awesome. Okay. So, what do you use?
I am gonna get a lot of hate and shit for this, but I actually like Thinx period panties. And specifically the brand Thinx because I think they're one of the only brands that actually works with zero leaking.
Well, you're not going to get hate from me because those are my ride or dies. I wear them every month. I love them.
I get so much shit for them every single time I share about them because of the whole PFAS scandal. Shell Bizzle has a huge YouTube video on this that has a ton of information that gives a bunch of actual facts.
Get ready to deep dive. Get ready to deep dive.
Go watch that if you're interested in it. But there was a study done of shipping a pair of period underwear through the mail to a research facility to see if there were PFAS. And there's all this stuff about how the study wasn't done under the proper conditions. There was a very small study of like 3 pairs of their underwear. There's a ton of information about it. Things settled with the people who were suing them so that there was no more lawsuit, because lawsuits are millions and millions of dollars. So they decided to settle instead of going to court. So now everybody thinks that they have PFAS in them. They are independently tested for PFAS and they don't have PFAS.
And they work
So,
really, really well.
and they work. They don't leak. I have no issues with them.
Yeah, I don't want to dive too deep because I want to, but I want if we do the full episode. Um,
Yeah.
if you're somebody who is still using single-use period products, I am not here to shame you. Do what you got to do. It is hard enough to have a period in this world. It is not easy.
Yep.
It's very inconvenient, but there are better options. Okay, we're a big fan of the brand NatraCare. Again,
Oh, yeah.
we have to give this disclaimer. We both worked with them. If you're going to use single-use period products, they're awesome. They have been in the game for over 30 years, if not longer, and they create 100% natural, compostable period products. Like you can literally put these tampons and pads, some of them, not every product they make, but some of them in your compost pile
Hmm.
and it will completely biodegrade. So that is a much better option than buying bleached cotton layered with plastic that you are putting into the most absorbent part of your body.
Yep.
Okay. And you can do what you want. I'm never going to shame anybody for their choices with something as personal as a period. But just know there are more eco options available
Yeah.
should you choose not to go the reusable route. Personally, I've been on the reusable route for over 7 years, maybe 8 at this point, like I said, and I will never go back because
Me either.
it is so easy. I don't know about you. I use the Thinks when I'm like home just chilling.
Hmm.
When I'm doing things and I don't want to have those period underwear on, I use the Nixit menstrual disc. Literally, completely utterly changed my life. And I know that sounds dramatic. They gave it to me as PR in 2020. If you are a little put off by menstrual cups, I used those for a long time. The disc is
Hmm.
it. It is a complete game changer. Again, we want to do a full episode on this, so I'm not going to go into too much detail, but feel free to like DM us and ask us more questions. And I think that episode will come out,
Yeah.
later in the year. But this product is such a life changing product. It's made of medical grade silicone, it's inserted the same way you would a tampon, except you can leave it in for like up to 8 to 12
Hmm.
hours, depending on your period. It is comfortable. It feels like nothing is in there. You can't even tell it's in there. It collects the blood so it's not absorbing, so you don't have like absorbent cotton right up against your vaginal wall.
Hmm.
It's just in there and then you just empty it. People get very grossed out by this. I have a lot of opinions on people getting grossed out by periods, okay?
I think people that get grossed out by periods don't have periods. I think it's men that are getting grossed out by periods.
Yeah, but a lot of girls, I've spoken to a lot of women who are like, I don't like the idea of like dumping the blood out and stuff. And like,
And I think that that comes from men in their lives being weird about it. So that's my opinion, that it's a bunch of misogyny.
yeah, it all stems from misogyny, but I feel that women are not connected to their own bodies because of that misogyny. And when you start to use reusable period products, you have to like look your period in the face and actually
Hmm.
connect with it. So I'm very pro reusable period products for a multitude of reasons. We'll get into it one day. But if it grosses you out or you feel weird or you don't have to empty it for like 12 hours essentially. And when I do empty it, I just take it out in the shower and there's no issue. There's no mess.
Yeah.
I promise it's a lot simpler. And then I don't have like, you know what I think is kind of gross? Like tampons in the garbage can.
Yeah, I
That I
agree.
like I you know what I mean? Like it's a lot easier for me to just
Hmm.
and then it's good for up to 10 years. A reusable menstrual disc or menstrual cup, you can use them for up to 10 years. It's medical grade silicone.
Yeah.
So I genuinely think it's the biggest zero waste swap life changer I've ever had. Huge, huge, huge fan. Life-changing.
I think this is just because, like, when I'm on my period, I'm way less active, but I have a menstrual disc and a menstrual cup too, but I don't really use them. I prefer the period panties and, like, the overnight sleep shorts for
Yeah.
things. I love them both.
I use both of those too. I sleep in the sleep shorts and the period underwear and stuff like that.
Yeah. For me, the cups just, like, don't work. Like, I could not for the life of me get the menstrual cup to work, and I know that, like, everybody's shaped
Mhm.
differently internally, so, like, some products aren't gonna work for you and some will. So, the cups I could never get to work for me. I do have a disc from Plum Thyme. They're no longer in business, but I do have a disc from them that I love and that I do use. I just end up not using it as often because I tend to just, like, rot when I'm on my period
I get
and stay
that.
home.
Well, when
So,
I'm just home and hanging out, it's the Thinx undies for me.
yeah, I love things. I've tried several other brands, I just can't get them to work for me.
I've tried other brands too. Yeah, when you said that you're gonna get hate for this, I was like, not from me because I that's my favorites. I've worked with them too though. I have. So
Me too.
but I've tried probably 6 brands and like it's not that they're bad, but these are by far the best, like no question.
Yeah,
And if you're grossed out by that, you just I don't know,
check yourself.
check yourself honestly, but also I want to be like kind. I'm not trying to be rude. I get in the shower, I rinse them out in the shower as I'm already in the shower, okay?
Mhm.
And then just rinse them out and like then I throw them in the washing machine on a cold setting with the rest of my stuff. Like it's really not a big deal. I promise. I promise. I know people think it's weird and they think it's gross and they don't, but like once you do it, you realize it's so
Yeah,
not a big deal. I do laundry multiple times a week. I have a mini washer, so I have to. And I rinse the period underwear out in the shower while I'm in there. And so I'm not like, in my sink or anything. Like
yeah,
it's very, very, very much integrated into my day to day life. Take a shower at the end of the night when I'm on my period, no question, because
yeah.
I just feel gross and I want to. I rinse them out, I hang them, and then I just toss them in the washing machine with a normal load and then hang to dry. That's important. You can't put them in the dryer. So,
I
do you dry them?
I'm so bad, you're gonna, like, cringe.
I dry them too, but on accident, but like
You're not supposed to, but this is how I do it. I don't rinse them out. I quite literally just run them through the washing machine with a load of towels and, like, only
okay.
towels, and I run them through the steam sanitizer,
Well, that's it
and
it
then I
probably will
also
make
dry
them
them.
last like less time.
I've had the same pairs for, like, 8 years,
Okay, so then they're fine.
so it's fine.
That's not they tell you not to do that. That's why we're saying that. But
It's
like
not
you do
recommended.
whatever
Yeah.
works for you. But
You're supposed to, like, rinse them and hang them dry and then wash them in cold water and then not put them through the dryer. I did that way for the first, like, year,
I've definitely put them through the dryer.
and then I
Yeah.
accidentally put them through the dryer once, and I was like, "Hmm, they're fine." So then I just kept doing it. So that's what I do. I keep them separate and I wash them with just towels, and then I don't even rinse them out beforehand, and then I just do a load with cold water, and then I put it all in the dryer, and then I steam sanitize it in the dryer, and it works great.
Hey man, if it works, it works. I am a huge proponent of
Yeah.
reusable period products. The more I talk about it, the more I'm like, yeah, we obviously have to do a full episode because we I'm gonna ramble on forever. But I do think something that even if you're a little bit grossed out or you aren't 100% on board, I did a little bit of math as to how much money I have saved on period products because think about it, you're buying a box of tampons. Back before I was knowledgeable on this topic, I was always buying the U by Kotex brand.
Mhm.
That's what I
Yep.
bought when I first got my period when I was like
Yeah.
in
That was,
middle
like,
school.
the brand.
Yeah, and and I think what is that? 12 to 14 bucks per box.
About that, yeah.
Let's say $13 and like let's okay times 12 equal $156 a year minimum,
Insane.
right? And then that's times let's times it by 8 years. That's $1,200. That's over $1,200 saved
Wow.
by using this one product.
Yeah.
Um, so we're gonna obviously do full
We
episodes
have
in the
to now.
future. Yeah. But that is a very big one.
Alright, so we talked about periods, let's talk about poop. Nobody ever wants to talk about it. But
Ah.
we have a Tushy bidet in our bathroom that cuts down our toilet paper usage, and it's incredible. Once you go to a bidet, you'll never go back. Have you installed your bidet yet? Do you have one?
Okay. You're gonna be pissed. Listen, I have a bidet. I have a tushy. They sent me a tushy. I've been wanting to use it, but I have an issue.
Install
My
it.
No, listen, I have tried. I have tried. I've had my boyfriend on the floor of that bathroom sweating because my toilet seat is rusted on. Like, it is rusted on and I
Aw.
cannot get it off, and I've tried a million times. I even had my dad when he was in town.
Yeah.
I cannot get it off, and it makes me crazy because the tushy is sitting in the bathroom in the box, and I'm, like,
Oh my
wanting I've had it for,
god.
like, a year, and I've tried everything, and it just got so frustrated I stopped, but I have a lot of friends who have the bidet, and they're obsessed, and I love pooping at their house, obviously, because it's the best, so I need it, and I am mad that my toilet is rusted. I don't know what I can do. I need to figure
You
something
should
out.
ask your landlord to replace the toilet.
So here's the thing. It was replaced a year ago. It's a new toilet. Our
And is
toilet
rusted on
broke. Yeah,
there?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what's going on because it's a brand new toilet.
Insane.
It's a very nice toilet.
Yeah.
I don't know why it's rusted on because it's like it's very nice. It has like the eco flushing
That's so
stuff. It's not
bizarre.
like an old toilet. We had an
Yeah.
old toilet that broke and they replaced our toilet. And that was like probably maybe 2 years ago. And I need a tushy, but I cannot get. I mean, it got so frustrating trying to take that seat off
Yeah,
that
I
my
understand.
boyfriend just took a nap. He just laid down. He was so mad. So
So, anyways, if you have the ability to add a bidet, I'm a huge fan of the Tushy brand. We've had it in our bathroom for 2 years at least, and it's incredible. We go through so little toilet paper now. It's kind of a joke because we have several boxes of toilet paper that I get for PR just like lined up in our basement. And anybody that comes over, we can just like give them a box of toilet paper just because we have so much in back stock. But obsessed with Tushy bidets. I always say that when we travel, I miss our shower and I miss our bidet just because, like, once you use it, like, it's hard to go back to not using it. So that's my last bathroom brand of the day.
yeah, I guess we talked all personal care. I guess we could call them all bathroom brands, actually. Yeah, I guess they're all bathroom brands, things you would keep in your bathroom. So that was very fun.
I had a lot of fun doing it.
I had a great time discussing that. Yeah, sometimes we talk about like really sad, horrifying stuff. So that was a nice little palate cleanser.
Yeah.
The goal with this podcast is to talk about things that matter, but in like a chatty, fun way. In moderation, of course. Like we want to be serious sometimes, but we want everyone to feel like they're chatting with a friend. So hopefully it felt that way today for you guys. It did to me. I had a really good time. So we're going to be back in our next episode with essentially like a part 2 of this. Um, just some brands and products that we really like, that we really get behind, because we've been going hard on the anti-consumerism stuff lately, and time to do a little counter content
It's fun to do something a little different.
because there are amazing companies and products and brands out there. So
And although we may be avoiding and boycotting big businesses and big stores at this time, we still need to be supporting small businesses. So these are, for
right.
the most part, all small businesses that we use and love.
Yeah, and of course, as we always say, if you have a local zero waste or sustainably minded store, that should always be your go-to.
They probably even have a lot of these brands at their stores too.
Yeah, they probably stock these brands, literally. If you have a sustainable store near you or a small business that carries sustainable products, that should be your go-to. Support small first.
So I think that wraps it up on our episode on conscious consumerism and brands that we actually love and use. So we will be back again in 2 weeks with part 2 to this episode topic. We're going to be doing some more home and just kind of general brands, probably a lot of kitchen because both of us love our kitchen brands and do a lot of cooking. So we'll be back in a couple of weeks with our next episode.
Thank you so much for listening. We love you so much. And thank you to Livelihood, our sponsor. Go ahead and check out our Instagram so that you can enter to win our giveaway. I have a feeling if you're listening to this, you're going to win. You. Yes, you. You're going to win. So go enter it. Come on. It'll take you 2 seconds.
Thanks for listening, and we'll talk to you again in 2 weeks. Bye.
Love you. Bye.
What are we talking about?
Oh my god.
Oh, yeah. Conscious consumerism. Okay. You want to start or do you want me to start on intro?
Coughs right into the mic.
Brennan, what's your hyperfixation for the last couple weeks?
That was a loud dog sound.
Thanks for listening.
That's for the thing.